Have you ever gone to bed at night and whispered to yourself, "Tomorrow, everything will change. Tomorrow, I'll wake up early. Tomorrow, I'll use my phone less. Tomorrow, I'll start working hard. Tomorrow, I'll start my YouTube channel. Tomorrow, I'll join the gym." But the next morning, everything stays exactly the same. And the strangest part isn't that you broke your promise. The strangest part is your own mind always gives you a brand new excuse. Not today. I'll start on Monday. Not this month. Next month. Slowly, a person doesn't change their life. They simply keep changing their excuses. And one day, they realize they didn't lose their dreams. They lost the habit of starting. Today's story is about a man who defeated the most dangerous villain of his life. A villain who didn't live outside, but inside his own mind. Hello everyone, my name is Ayan. Welcome back to our channel. Today's story might change the way you think about tomorrow. So, let's begin. Do you also keep telling yourself that the right time hasn't come yet? What if the right time never comes? Meet Ethan Carter, a 24-year-old talented and highly creative designer. But Ethan's life was far from perfect. After his father passed away, the entire responsibility of the family fell on his mother's shoulders. She worked 2 jobs every single day. Their rent was overdue by 2 months, and Ethan's savings were almost gone. He had to do something. But there was one powerful villain standing in his way. It wasn't another person. It was his own mind. Inside Ethan's room hung a large whiteboard filled with his goals. But every time he sat down to work, that voice inside his head would whisper sweet poison. "Ethan, your portfolio isn't perfect yet. You send unfinished work, they'll reject you forever. Just one more week. Make it perfect first." Every single time, Ethan listened. Goal on the board, he wrote one word: tomorrow. Maybe the same mistake right now. Your mind is fooling you, using perfection as an excuse. But Ethan didn't know. The world wasn't waiting for him to become perfect. His best friend, Jason, had only half of Ethan's talent. But Jason didn't have the tomorrow villain living inside his head. He simply took action, even when he wasn't ready. He had no idea that one habit would shape the rest of his life. One day, the biggest design agency in the city announced they were hiring. This was Ethan's chance. A chance to pay the rent. A chance to free his mother from working double shifts. Ethan grabbed his mouse. He was just about to submit his portfolio when suddenly the villain attacked again. "Wait, Ethan, this is the biggest company in the city. Your website isn't ready. If they see unfinished work, they'll blacklist you forever. Just take 3 more days." Fear took over. Ethan slowly let go of the mouse. That single moment became the biggest mistake of his life. Meanwhile, Jason didn't overthink. He attached his imperfect portfolio, clicked send, and moved on. What happened the very next day changed everything. Jason received a brutally honest email. "Your work is unprofessional. You're not ready for this industry. Rejected." When Ethan heard the news, the villain inside his head smiled. "See? I saved you. If you had applied too, you would have been humiliated just like him. Let's stay safe and keep preparing." Ethan felt relieved. He believed waiting had been the smartest decision. We've all done this before. When someone else fails, our own inaction suddenly feels like wisdom. He thought the story had ended, but it was only beginning. 3 months passed. Ethan was still deciding what background color his website should have, but the truth was completely different from what he could see. Jason wasn't sitting still. That painful rejection showed him exactly what he needed to improve. He spent 3 months fixing every mistake. Then he applied to the same agency again. And this time, just minutes later, his life changed. The agency noticed his growth, and they hired him. Ethan was devastated. Someone with less talent was now living his dream. But once again, the villain comforted him. Don't worry. Jason just got lucky. We'll skip the small jobs and land something much bigger. But wait, the biggest twist was still coming. 6 months later, the agency suddenly went bankrupt overnight. Every employee, including Jason, lost their job. The villain smiled again. See? Good thing you never joined. Otherwise, you'd be unemployed too. To anyone watching, it looked like both of them were back at zero. If only Ethan had known, action never returns to zero. 2 days after losing his job, Jason received an unexpected email. It was from the agency's biggest international client. I know the company has shut down, but I've watched your work over the past 6 months. Would you like to become the head designer for my company? At that moment, everything became crystal clear for Ethan. Jason didn't get that opportunity because he was more talented. He got it because 9 months earlier, he had the courage to face rejection. The job wasn't the real reward. Taking action was. Maybe you felt this too, like your entire life is trapped inside one room. That night, Ethan walked home with heavy steps. He was broken. As he entered the house, he saw his mother asleep on the couch. A legal eviction notice rested in her hands. Her feet were swollen after another exhausting day of work. Ethan's heart sank. Then he looked at the whiteboard on the wall. For the last 2 years, every dream had the same word written beside it: tomorrow. His mother slowly opened her eyes. She looked at Ethan, then at the eviction notice, then at the whiteboard. The room fell completely silent. She looked into his eyes and asked one question that pierced straight through his soul. Son, over the last 2 years, have our dreams changed, or have only the dates on that board changed? Our dreams, or just the dates? Those words hit Ethan like a knife. This is where most people give up. This is where dreams quietly die. Tears rolled down Ethan's face. He finally understood. His mind had never been protecting him. It had been destroying him, one excuse at a time. At that very moment, he walked toward his laptop. He picked up his unfinished portfolio. Then, the villain made one final attempt. Ethan, you're emotional right now. Your work won't be good. Just sleep tonight. Tomorrow morning, you'll have a fresh mind. It's only one more night. But this time, Ethan strangled that voice. He said, no more tomorrows. He grabbed the eraser, wiped the word tomorrow off the whiteboard forever. Without waiting, without preparing, without fearing rejection, he sent his portfolio to 15 different companies. Then he pressed send. 1 year later, Ethan stood as the chief guest at a major corporate event in Austin. He wasn't just paying his family's rent anymore. He had bought his mother a brand new home. After the event, a young man walked up to him. Sir, you're so successful because you're incredibly talented, right? Tell me, how can I become perfect? Ethan smiled, then quietly replied, my life didn't change the day I created perfect work. My life changed the day I killed the villain inside my own mind. The young man looked confused. Villain? What villain? Ethan answered, the voice that keeps saying, we'll do it tomorrow. I stopped chasing perfection. Instead, I started collecting rejections. I gave myself one goal. Get rejected by at least 3 places every single day. Because when rejection becomes your target, failure stops being scary. And when you knock on enough doors without shame, one day, success has no choice but to open one of them. The young man stood there, speechless. He finally understood. The problem was never tomorrow. The problem was saying tomorrow every single day. The greatest distance between you and your dreams isn't measured in miles. It's measured by one simple word: tomorrow. Before today's fear steals tomorrow's life, stand up. Escape the prison of perfection. Face rejection. Start today, because tomorrow never comes.